This piece of wood is about to become a bear. The craftsman works carefully not only with a chainsaw, but also with a chisel. Cutting pieces of wood can be very meditative. This professional has the difficult mission of cutting down an unusual tree with a chainsaw that is as tall as she is. This little skeleton is a small testament to the craftsman's skills, and you'll never guess what it was made for. This electrical art is known as Lichtenberg figures. They are created by a sliding spark discharge. Another chainsaw expert is creating a masterpiece before our eyes. This time we're witnessing the birth of a lion. Check out this beautiful 2.4 meter long piece of sycamore wood. To make it look even more spectacular, it's treated with epoxy resin. The skills of this craftsman are amazing. He's making a toy inspired by the underwater world. And it's not just a plain toy, but one with moving elements. A great example of how woodworking sometimes requires a steady hand. Creativity is just as important. Look what can be created using some ordinary wood strips. For some professionals, the first step when working with wood is to drastically reduce the diameter of the log. According to the Chinese calendar, it's the year of the dragon, so we couldn't ignore this perfect chisel work. In this video, the experts work spruce wood with a draw knife. Check out this great way to combine wood and epoxy resin. If you properly prepare your hand plane for the job, everything will go smoothly. Next, we have a masterpiece that takes flight. The pieces have been perfectly joined together. That's what I call precision. It almost took 7 hours to make this wolf. We are in a factory to see how solid wood is processed. Evidently, this is not the first time that this pro has worked with this kind of wood blank. You can create all kinds of things out of wood, from teacups to chess pieces. These wooden pieces will soon become very useful objects. This life-size sculpture was made of poplar wood and then decorated with pyrography and acrylic paint. Using a bandsaw, the craftsman has created an impressive visual effect. A CNC machine and paddock wood is all you need to make a beautiful tiger. This machinery is used to remove stumps, and the video's not in slow motion. The rotation speed is adjusted so that dangerous wood chips and pieces of wood don't fly in all directions. Hand planing is an important step in many woodworking jobs. In this video, you can see an experiment with pyrography. The craftsman creates a pattern with a zoetrope effect. When it rotates, due to the visual inertia, it looks like the drawing is moving. Boards on a conveyor belt, and nothing else. In case you wanted to learn, here's how to cut a 1.5 meter diameter circle out of a piece of wood. The John Deere H425 harvester can cut logs up to 710mm in diameter. Now that's power. This piece of linden wood becomes a beautiful object. A sharp tool and skills are the key to a good result. Next, we have a homemade machine for making wooden dowels. As you can see, it does a great job. The carpenter was also involved in the design of this furniture. It must have been very satisfying to work on such a project. Lucas Mill is known for its portable sawmills. Even the basic model can process logs up to 5 meters in length. A debarker is indispensable when bark and other debris need to be removed. The model on the screen is from Hanvey Machinery. Let's see how to make a maple bowl. Making firewood is more fun if you have an automatic log splitter. Even the simplest models are capable of producing 30 cubic meters of firewood per hour. This video is from the channel of a manufacturer of disposable bamboo chopsticks. Hot stamping is a great way to decorate wood. Drum temperature varies depending on many factors. For example, when working with oak pieces, some companies set the temperature at 300 degrees Celsius. And here, a laser guide is used for more precise cutting. A fine work in every sense of the word. Look at what an impeccable job the craftsman does. You will surely never forget this painting made of wood. The chips will start flying when the 5-shaft planer kicks into action. Armed with a draw knife, this pro removes the bark quickly and accurately. This is one of the stages of floor preparation. In this case, a drum sander from Legler is used. If you choose the right angle, the shavings will look like noodles. This worker is adding a coat of wood stain to protect the future furniture, in addition to making it look even better. Yakisugi or shusugi ban is a Japanese technique of processing wood with fire. It's usually used for cedar, oak, and pine. In this case, a blowtorch at temperatures of up to 500 degrees Celsius is used. This kindling splitter looks simple enough, but it retails for $121. One way to protect wood from moisture and rot is to coat it with bitumen paint. And here, the craftsman makes an incredible round table in the blink of an eye. Now this rice steamer will have perfectly even edges. With his careful movements, the craftsman gives the piece an unusual texture. Do you know the name of this art? Pyrography. Before our eyes, the future cutting board acquires beautiful rounded edges. Meanwhile, the other boards arrived at the milling machine. Our selection ends with the revolver saw. Just like a real revolver, it has a drum. Workers can load logs up to 180mm in diameter and adjust the length of the pieces from 25 to 50 centimeters.